Commander Vrex leaned back in his command chair, 4 of his 6 appendages drumming impatiently against the polished surface of his desk. The neural display hovering before him showed 12 green dots, each representing one of his most elite assassins. 12 of the most lethal beings in the known galaxy, all converging on a single point in the remote system of Sol 3. A single human. Just one human, Vrex muttered to himself, mandibles clicking in annoyance. Just one human. His aide, Lieutenant Pax, stood at attention nearby, nervously shifting his weight from one limb to another. Sir, perhaps we should reconsider. The reports from the frontier. The reports, Vrex snapped, slicing a claw through the air, are exaggerations. Propaganda. Psychological warfare. But, Commander, the previous teams we sent were incompetent, Vrex finished. That's why I have dispatched the Crimson 12, the best of the best. The pride of the Xanthar Empire. Pax hesitated, his translucent skin flushing a deeper shade of blue. With all due respect, sir, the last team we sent consisted of 6 veteran hunters from the Orion campaigns. None returned. Vrex rose from his seat, his towering frame casting a shadow over the smaller alien. Do you question my judgment, Lieutenant? No, Commander. I merely suggest caution. Vrex snorted, a sound like escaping steam from a pressure valve. Caution. Against a single human? He gestured toward the viewport, where the blue-green orb of Earth hung in the distance. Look at them. Fragile. Primitive. Emotional. I have deployed 12 assassins against one target. Do you know what the humans call that, Lieutenant? No, sir. Overkill. Vrex's mouth parts arranged themselves in what passed for a smile in his species. Let's watch. Zara, leader of the Crimson 12, crouched on a rocky outcropping overlooking the valley. The human's dwelling sat nestled against the mountain, a simple structure of wood and stone. Primitive, like everything else on this backwater planet. Target confirmed, she subvocalized into her neural link. All units report. One by one, her team checked in. Av in position, South Ridge. Krell in position, Western approach. X in position, Eastern perimeter. And 9 more confirmations followed. The best killers in the Xanthar military surrounding one human dwelling. Zara had protested the assignment. It was beneath them. But orders were orders. Remember, she transmitted to her team, this human is designated threat level Omega. Approach with extreme caution. No unnecessary risks. Drav, her second in command, replied with a note of skepticism in his voice. Threat level Omega? For a human? Command must be joking. Tell that to the 38 operatives who never returned, Zara responded coldly. Besides, you have seen the file. I have seen fairy tales too, Drav shot back. No single being could have done what that file claims. Zara adjusted the settings on her optical enhancers, zooming in on the dwelling. No movement. No signs of advanced technology. Just a simple cabin with smoke rising from a stone chimney. Stick to the plan, she ordered. Phased approach. Teams of 3. First team secures the perimeter. Second team breaches. Third team confirms the kill. Fourth team retrieves the body for analysis. Seems excessive, Drav muttered. Zara ignored him. Team Alpha, you have clearance to move in. Secure the perimeter. 3 green acknowledgement lights flashed in her neural display. Krell, Mex, and Vax began their approach, using the advanced cloaking technology that rendered them nearly invisible to most detection systems. Zara watched through their shared neural feed as they moved silently toward the cabin. Everything was proceeding according to plan. Too easy, she thought. Then Krell's feed went dark. Zara stiffened. Krell, report. Silence. Ewan, silence. Krell, acknowledge. Nothing. Mex, Vax, status report. Mex's voice came through tense. No visual on Krell. He was 20 meters ahead, then gone. Define gone, Zara demanded. Just gone, Mex replied. No sound, no movement. His signal vanished. Zara felt a chill run down her exoskeleton. All back. Regroup at. X's feed went dark. Then Vax's. 3 of her best assassins. Gone in less than 60 seconds. All units, Zara commanded, her voice steady despite the sudden rush of adrenaline through her system, converge on my position. Combat Formation Delta. Drav appeared beside her, his camouflage shimmering as it deactivated. What just happened? I don't know, Zara admitted. But we are not taking any more chances. New plan. We hit the target with everything we have got. Full assault. Against one human? Drav asked incredulously. The sound of the cabin door opening drew their attention. A figure emerged, unmistakably human, male of average height and build. He wore simple clothing, pants of blue fabric, a shirt of soft material, and boots. No visible weapons or armor. He stepped onto the porch, stretched casually, and then looked directly at them, at their hidden position over a kilometer away. The human smiled and waved. Did he just? Drav began. Impossible, Zara breathed. Our position is completely concealed. The human cupped his hands around his mouth and called out. His voice, impossibly, carried clearly across the distance. I know you are out there. All 9 of you. Come on down. I have got coffee brewing. Drav's 4 eyes widened. How does he know our exact number after the loss of the first team? Zara didn't answer. She was too busy processing what was happening. The human wasn't running, wasn't hiding, wasn't afraid. He was inviting them for a beverage. It's a trap, she decided. All units prepare for assault. On my mark, we. The human's voice interrupted her. It's not a trap. Well, okay, it kind of is. But not the kind you are thinking of. Look, if I wanted you dead, you'd be dead already. Just like your friends. Zara froze. This was not protocol. This was not how operations were supposed to go. She had led 87 successful assassinations across 12-star systems. Never had a target addressed her team directly. Never had a target appeared so unconcerned. What do we do? Drav asked. The human shouted again. I'm going back inside. Doors open if you want to talk. Or you can stay out here and end up like the others. Your choice. With that, he turned and walked back into the cabin. Zara made a decision. Drav, with me. The rest of you maintain position and be ready to strike on my command. You are not seriously considering going down there? Drav hissed. I'm considering assessing the situation from a closer vantage point, Zara replied, already moving, and finding out what happened to our team. The approach to the cabin took 10 minutes, even with their enhanced speed. Every step, Zara expected an attack. It's a trap, something. But nothing happened. They reached the edge of the clearing surrounding the dwelling without incident. This is wrong, Drav whispered. All wrong. Zara had to agree. Her threat assessment systems were giving contradictory readings. The dwelling itself showed no signs of advanced technology. The human had displayed no weapons. Yet something had neutralized 3 of her elite assassins without a sound. Cover me, she ordered, and moved forward. She crossed the open ground in a blur, her enhanced muscles carrying her to the porch in seconds. She pressed herself against the wall beside the door, energy blade at the ready. From inside came the sound of movement, casual, unhurried. The clink of containers. The human was preparing beverages. You can come in, the human called out, his voice now at normal volume. Or you can stand out there looking dramatic. Either way, your coffee's getting cold. Zara exchanged glances with Drav, who had moved to the opposite side of the door. This violated every protocol, every procedure. But 3 of her team were missing, possibly dead, and she needed answers. She pushed the door open and entered, weapon ready. The interior was as primitive as the exterior suggested. Wooden furniture. A fire burning in a stone hearth. Shelves lined with physical books, actual paper and binding. In the center, a table, where the human sat casually, two steaming mugs before him. No visible weapons, no apparent technology beyond the most basic. The human smiled. There we are. I was beginning to think you'd stand out there all day. I'm Jack, by the way. Jack Solomon. Zara remained in a combat stance, her blade humming with energy. Where are my operatives? Jack sipped from his mug. Straight to business, huh? No small talk? That's fair. He gestured to the empty chairs. Have a seat. We should talk. I prefer to stand. Suit yourself. Jack shrugged. Your friends are alive. Mostly. Mostly? Drav growled from the doorway. Well, the one who tried to shoot me through my window might lose an arm. Self-defense, you understand. Jack's expression remained pleasant, but something in his eyes changed. A hardness, a coldness that sent an involuntary shiver through Zara's combat-hardened body. What are you? She demanded. Jack laughed. That's a philosophical question, isn't it? What is anyone, really? You know what I mean, Zara snapped. No human could detect our presence. No human could neutralize 3 elite assassins without raising an alarm. Ah. Jack nodded. That's where you are wrong. You are making a common mistake. He leaned forward. You think you know what humans are. You have studied us, categorized us, determined our strengths and weaknesses. But you have missed something fundamental. And what's that? Zara asked, her blade still pointed at his chest. We are not all the same. Jack's smile widened. Some of us are special. A crash from outside jerked Zara's attention. Through the neural link, she felt another of her team go offline. Then another. What's happening? She demanded. Jack sipped his coffee again, seemingly unconcerned. I told you it was a trap. Just not the kind you were expecting. Zara lunged forward, her blade aimed at Jack's heart. And with speed that should have been impossible for a human, he moved, not away from the blade, but toward it, inside her guard. His hand closed around her wrist, applying pressure to points that shouldn't have affected her alien physiology. But they did. Her fingers went numb. The blade clattered to the floor. Interesting, Jack said conversationally, still holding her wrist. Your nervous system is different from ours, but the principles are the same. Signals traveling along pathways. Disrupt the pathway. He squeezed slightly, and Zara's entire arm went dead. Disrupt the signal. Drav charged from the doorway, his own weapon drawn. Jack released Zara, sidestepped Drav's attack with casual ease, and struck him once, a simple, almost gentle tap at the base of his skull. Drav collapsed like a marionette with cut strings. Now then, Jack said, returning to his seat as if nothing had happened. Where were we? Ah, yes. You were about to ask me why I haven't killed you yet. Zara, struggling to regain control of her arm, stared at him. Why? Simple. I want you to deliver a message. Jack's eyes, previously warm and casual, turned cold as the void between stars. Your empire has sent 38 assassins to kill me. You are numbers 39 through 50. None have succeeded. None will succeed. What do you want? Zara asked, her training finally reasserting itself. I want to be left alone. Jack's voice was quiet now, but filled with a promise of violence that made Zara's combat instincts scream in warning. Tell your commander Vrex that his options are simple. Recall all forces, cease all operations against Earth and her colonies, and formally recognize our independence, or I will come for him. Zara's blood ran cold. How do you know about Commander Vrex? Jack smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. I know everything about your empire. Your strengths, your weaknesses, your fears. He leaned forward. Want to know what else I know? Despite herself, Zara nodded. I know that right now Vrex is watching us through your neural feed. Isn't that right, Commander? In his command center, Vrex jolted upright. It was impossible. The human was looking directly at him through Zara's feed. Directly at him. "How?" he whispered. "Your technology is impressive," Jack continued, "but it's not as secure as you think. I have been intercepting your communications, reading your reports, listening to your plans." He stood and walked to a simple wooden cabinet. From it, he withdrew a small metal box. "Do you know what this is?" he asked. Zara shook her head. "This," Jack said, "is a quantum entanglement communicator. It allows instantaneous communication across any distance. Your empire has been trying to develop this technology for decades. We perfected it 5 years ago." He set the box on the table. "But that's not the important part. The important part is what it represents." "Which is?" Zara found herself asking. "You are not the advanced ones here," Jack said simply. "We let you think you are because it was convenient, because we weren't ready to show our hand. But your commander's obsession with eliminating me has forced the issue." Outside, more crashes. More signals going dark in Zara's neural net. 8 of her 12-member team gone. "Who are you?" she whispered. Jack's expression softened slightly. "Just a man who wants to be left alone. But your empire wouldn't allow that. So here we are." He gestured around the cabin. "This primitive dwelling? This simple life? It's a choice, not a limitation. I could have a palace of technology that would make your empire's finest achievements look like children's toys. But I prefer simplicity." He returned to his seat. "Now, you have a decision to make, Zara of the Crimson 12. You can deliver my message, or you can join your teammates." "My teammates are dead," she stated flatly. "No," Jack corrected. "As I said, they are mostly alive." He contained. Neutralized, he tapped his temple. "I know exactly where each one is. I can release them or not." Through her neural link, Zara suddenly received a location ping. Then another. All 9 of her missing teammates, their life signs weak but present. "How are you doing this?" she demanded. Jack smiled enigmatically. "Your empire has studied humans for decades, yet understood so little. We are not just another species to conquer. We are something else entirely." He stood. "Time's up. Your commander needs his answer. Will you deliver my message?" Zara looked at this human, this impossible human who had single-handedly neutralized 11 of the most elite assassins in the Empire. She thought of the reports she had dismissed as exaggeration, the warnings she had ignored. "I will deliver your message," she said finally. Jack nodded. "Good. Oh, and one more thing." He reached into his pocket and withdrew a small data chip, which he tossed to her. "Give this to Vrex. It contains proof that I could have ended him at any time over the past year, but maybe it will help convince him." Zara caught the chip, her mind racing. "You have been inside our command center?" "I have been everywhere I needed to be," Jack replied simply. "Now go. You have 36 hours to deliver my message before I consider your silence a rejection of my terms." He walked to the door and opened it. "Your ship is where you left it. I have taken the liberty of collecting your teammates. They are on board, sedated. They will wake up once you are back in Empire space." Zara moved cautiously toward the exit, never taking her eyes off Jack. "This isn't over," she said. "That," Jack replied, "is entirely up to Commander Vrex." Vrex stared at the blank neural display, his hands trembling. Zara's feed had cut out immediately after the human's last statement. All 12 assassins gone, just like all the others. "Sir?" Lieutenant Pax ventured cautiously. "What are your orders?" Vrex remained silent, his mind racing. One human. One impossible human who somehow knew everything, who could somehow defeat the Empire's most elite killers without apparent effort. "Sir?" Pax pressed. "The assassin's ship has just appeared on our scanners. It's returning to Empire space." Vrex finally looked up. "Prepare a secure interrogation chamber. I want to know exactly what happened down there." "Yes, Commander." As Pax hurried away, Rex turned back to the viewport, staring at the distant blue-green planet. For the first time in his long military career, he felt something unfamiliar crawling up his spine. Fear. Just one human, he whispered to himself. Just one. Human! But now he understood. Sometimes one was more than enough. The interrogation chamber aboard the Imperial flagship Void Reaper was designed to intimidate. Black walls absorbed light and sound. The air circulation was deliberately set to create an uncomfortable chill. Even the gravity was adjusted to be slightly stronger than standard, making each movement an effort. None of this appeared to affect Zara as she stood at attention before Commander Rex. "Repeat your account," Rex demanded, his voice dangerously quiet. "Leave nothing out." Zara hadn't moved in 3 hours, hadn't flinched during questioning, hadn't shown any emotion as she recounted the disaster on Earth. "As I have stated 6 times now, Commander, the human neutralized my team with minimal effort. He displayed knowledge of our operations, our command structure, and our communication systems that should have been impossible for a primitive species to obtain." "Impossible," Rex hissed, "yet it happened." "How?" "Unknown, sir," Zara replied mechanically. The human claimed technological superiority while living in a primitive dwelling. He demonstrated physical capabilities far beyond our intelligence assessments. And he provided this. She nodded toward the data chip sitting on the table between them. Rex glared at the innocuous object. Since its arrival 18 hours ago, the Empire's best security specialists had been examining it. None dared connect it to any networked system, fearing what it might contain. "And your assessment, Commander of the Crimson 12? Rex asked, emphasizing her title with subtle mockery. "What does the leader of our most elite assassination unit recommend?" For the first time, something flickered across Zara's face. Hesitation? Fear? She quickly suppressed it. "Sir, I recommend immediate compliance with the human's terms, full withdrawal from Earth and her colonies, formal recognition of their independence." Rex slammed all 6 appendages on the table simultaneously. "Surrender? To one human? With respect, Commander, we have lost 50 agents to this one human. Our intelligence was catastrophically wrong. We thought we were hunting prey, but we were actually poking a predator." Lieutenant Pax entered the chamber, interrupting the tense exchange. "Commander, the security team has completed their initial analysis of the data chip." "And?" Rex demanded. Pax's skin tone shifted to a pale blue, the color of extreme distress in their species. "Sir, the chip contains surveillance footage from inside this very room." "What?" Rex's voice dropped to a whisper. "Footage from your private quarters, your war room, the bridge, dated throughout the past year. The human has had eyes everywhere." Pax swallowed hard. "There's more. The chip contains detailed schematics of our flagship's critical systems, defense grid access codes, communication encryption keys, even the personal security codes to your private escape pod, sir." The room fell silent. Rex stared at the data chip as if it were a venomous creature about to strike. "That's not possible," he finally said, but his voice lacked conviction. "The evidence suggests otherwise, sir," Pax replied carefully. Zara spoke up. "The human's deadline expires in 11 hours, Commander." He was very specific about the consequences of ignoring his terms. "He's bluffing," Rex snapped, but even he could hear the uncertainty in his voice. "One human cannot threaten the might of the Xanthar Empire." "Permission to speak freely, sir," Zara requested. Rex waved a limb dismissively. "The human knew our names, our positions, the exact location of our command ship. He neutralized 12 elite assassins without breaking a sweat." Zara leaned forward slightly. "He didn't kill us when he could have." "That wasn't mercy, Commander. That was a message. He wanted us alive to report back, to make you understand what you are dealing with, which is what Exactly? Rex demanded, something we severely underestimated. Jack Solomon sat on his porch, watching the sunset paint the mountains in shades of gold and crimson. A cup of coffee steamed in his hand. To any observer, he appeared to be a man enjoying a peaceful evening. They wouldn't see the quantum communicator humming softly beside him, or notice the nearly invisible neural interface circling his temple, or guess that his simple cabin contained technology centuries beyond what the Empire believed humans possessed. A soft chime indicated an incoming communication. Jack tapped the communicator. "Solomon," he answered. "It's General Hayes," came the response. "The Xanthar command ship is showing increased activity. Their patrol vessels are converging on their flagship." "Preparing for attack or retreat?" Jack asked, sipping his coffee. "Unknown. But their deadline is approaching fast." "Have they responded to your terms?" "Not yet." Rex is stubborn. Proud. Jack watched an eagle soar above the valley. "He will wait until the last moment." "And if he doesn't agree?" Jack's expression hardened. "Then I demonstrate why that would be a mistake." "Jack," Hayes's voice grew cautious, "the Council is concerned. This operation wasn't sanctioned. You acted independently. The Council has been debating for months while the Empire continued targeting our outposts. Sometimes action beats discussion, and that action could trigger a war we are not ready for." Jack smiled grimly. "We have been ready for decades, General. The Empire just doesn't know it yet." "That's not your call to make." "It became my call when they sent assassins to my home," Jack replied firmly. "Don't worry. Rex will make the right decision." "How can you be so sure?" Jack's smile widened. "Because I know something he doesn't." Aboard the Void Reaper, Commander Rex paced the bridge, his claws clicking nervously against the metallic floor. 8 hours remained until the human's deadline expired. "Options," he barked. Admiral Thrix, summoned from the Imperial Fleet headquarters, stepped forward. "We have 3 battlecruisers in position. We can obliterate the humans dwelling from orbit and risk full-scale war with a species whose capabilities we clearly don't understand." Lieutenant Pax interjected. "That seems unwise." Thrix glared at the junior officer. "You forget your place, Lieutenant." "He speaks sense," Rex admitted reluctantly. "The human clearly has means of communication and surveillance we cannot detect. If we strike and fail, we reveal our hostile intent to their entire species." "So we surrender?" Thrix asked incredulously. "The mighty Xanthar Empire, conquerors of 27 star systems, bowing to one human?" "Not surrender," Rex corrected. "Strategic reassessment." The bridge doors slid open. Zara entered, accompanied by 2 guards. Though technically under arrest pending investigation, her expertise was too valuable to ignore. "Commander," she acknowledged with a slight bow. "You requested my presence?" "Yes," Rex confirmed. "You have had the most direct contact with this human. What is your assessment of his capabilities? Not just his technology, but him personally." Zara considered her words carefully. "He moved faster than should be physically possible for his species. He neutralized Drav with a single touch, Drav, who has survived combat with Krelak's berserkers. He knew the exact pressure points on my physiology to disable my nervous system, despite our species having never been in direct physical contact before." "Enhanced," Admiral Thrix suggested. "Genetically modified, perhaps." "More than that," Zara shook her head. "He was confident. Not arrogant, certain. Like someone who knows exactly what will happen because they have already calculated every possibility." A communications officer interrupted. "Commander, we are receiving a transmission. Origin point, unknown." "On screen," Rex ordered. The central display flickered, and the human Jack Solomon appeared. He looked exactly as Zara had described. Average build, simple clothing. Utterly unremarkable except for his eyes. They held the calm certainty of a predator that knows its prey cannot escape. "Commander Rex," Jack greeted pleasantly. I see you have assembled quite the war council. Admiral Thrix, looking aggressive as always. Lieutenant Pax, the voice of reason, and Zara, survivor of the Crimson 12. He smiled. Good to see you again, Zara. Rex stepped forward. How are you accessing our secure communications? I told you, Commander. Your technology isn't as secure as you think. Jack leaned back in what appeared to be a simple wooden chair. I'm calling because time is running short. Have you made your decision? The Xanthar Empire does not respond to threats, Rex declared, straightening to his full imposing height. That wasn't a no, Jack observed. Interesting. What guarantee do we have that you will honor any agreement? Admiral Thrix demanded. Why should we trust you? You shouldn't, Jack replied simply. Trust is earned. But consider this, I could have killed your assassins. I didn't. I could have kept your secrets to myself and used them without warning. Instead, I showed you what I know. Those aren't the actions of someone looking for war. What do you want? Rex asked directly. I told you. Leave Earth and her colonies alone. Recognize our independence. That's it. You expect us to believe that one human. One human? Jack interrupted, laughing. Is that what you still think this is about? He tapped something off screen, and the display split. One half showed Jack. The other showed a massive underground facility where thousands of humans worked among technology that made the Empire's most advanced systems look primitive by comparison. This is Outpost Alpha, Jack explained, in one of 37 such facilities across Earth and her colonies. While you have been watching our public infrastructure and dismissing us as primitives, we have been preparing. Another tap, and the display changed again. Now it showed orbital platforms, nearly invisible to standard sensors, surrounding Earth. A defensive grid, Jack continued, capable of intercepting anything up to and including your Nova-class planet killers. Another tap. A fleet of ships, unlike any design the Empire had encountered. And our offensive capabilities, Jack said quietly, ready to deploy at a moment's notice. Rex stared, mandibles hanging slack in shock. Possible. Our surveillance. Saw exactly what we wanted you to see, Jack finished. We have known about the Empire for over a century. We monitored your expansion, studied your technology, prepared for the day you'd eventually reach our corner of the galaxy. If what you show is true, Admiral Thrix said carefully, why haven't you struck already? Why petition for independence when you could force it? Jack's expression softened slightly. Because despite what you think of us, humans don't want war. We never have. We are prepared for it, yes. We excel at it, unfortunately. But we'd rather avoid it. He leaned forward. I'm not a diplomat, Commander. I'm a soldier. One who got tired of watching your assassins target our people. My actions were unauthorized, a personal response to repeated provocations. But make no mistake, if you force the issue, my government will support me. Rex exchanged glances with his officers. The implications were staggering. If the human was telling the truth. I need time to consult with the Imperial Council, Rex finally said. You have 5 hours, Jack replied. I will contact you then for your answer. The transmission ended, leaving the bridge in stunned silence. Could it be deception? Admiral Thrix eventually asked. Fabricated images? Rex turned to Zara. Your assessment? She met his gaze steadily. He had no reason to bluff with me in that cabin. He could have killed me at any moment. I believe he's showing us the truth, or at least enough of it to make his point. 5 hours, Rex muttered. To decide the future of the Empire. 4 hours and 55 minutes later, Jack sat on his porch again. The quantum communicator chimed. Right on time, he murmured, activating it. Commander Rex appeared, his posture formal. Human Jack Solomon. I speak with the authority of the Imperial Council. I'm listening, Jack replied calmly. The Xanthar Empire agrees to your terms. All forces will withdraw from Earth space and her colonies. We will formally recognize your independence at the next Galactic Congress. Rex's mandibles clicked in what might have been discomfort. In exchange, we request a non-aggression pact. Jack nodded. Acceptable. I will inform my government. They will contact your diplomatic corps to formalize the agreement. There is one more thing, Rex said. A personal question, if you will permit it. Go ahead. The technology you have shown us, the capabilities you have demonstrated, why maintain the illusion of primitiveness? Why live in a wooden dwelling in the wilderness when you clearly have access to much more? Jack smiled, looking out at the mountains he called home. That's simple, Commander. Just because we can build wonders doesn't mean we should live inside them. Some of us prefer simplicity. It keeps us human. Rex seemed to consider this an unusual philosophy. Perhaps that's why you underestimated us, Jack suggested. You saw our choices as limitations rather than preferences. A costly misunderstanding, Rex acknowledged. One more question, then I will trouble you no further. Yes? Yes, on the 12 assassins. You said you sent them back, yet when their ship returned, only Zara was conscious. The others were in stasis pods, sedated. Ah, Jack nodded. A figure of speech, Commander. Sending them back in pieces doesn't mean I physically dismembered them. It means I broke them. Their confidence, their certainty, their belief in their own superiority. He paused. Though the one who tried to shoot me through my window did lose a few fingers. Unfortunate, but unavoidable. Rex nodded slowly. I see. Then our business is concluded. Almost, Jack corrected. One final matter, no more assassins. Ever. Not for me, not for any human. Violate that condition, and next time I won't be so diplomatic. Something in his tone made Rex's scales ripple with instinctive fear. Understood. The communication ended. Jack sat back, sipping his coffee, watching as the first stars appeared in the darkening sky. His quantum communicator chimed again. Solomon, he answered. It's haze. The Xanthar ships are moving out of the system. Looks like they are actually retreating. The general's voice held a note of surprise. You did it. We did it, Jack corrected. The whole charade worked perfectly. The outposts, the defense grid, the fleet, our special effects team deserves a bonus. Hayes laughed. Smoke and mirrors. The oldest trick in the book. Sometimes the simplest solutions are the best, Jack replied. They saw what they expected to see, a technologically superior force. The truth would have been far less impressive. You mean that we have no outposts? No fleet? That our defensive capabilities are still theoretical? Exactly. Jack watched an owl swoop silently across the valley below. We showed them what they feared most, a civilization more advanced than their own. Their pride did the rest. The council is split between wanting to give you a medal and wanting to court-martial you, Hayes remarked. Tell them I will settle for being left alone. Jack stood, stretching. I have got a cabin to repair. Their assassins made quite a mess. One last thing, Jack. The stuff you did, neutralizing 12 elite alien assassins. That wasn't smoke and mirrors. That was real. Jack smiled enigmatically. Let's just say some humans are indeed special, General. I'm just one of many. He ended the call and looked up at the stars. Somewhere up there, the Xanthar Empire was reconsidering everything they thought they knew about humanity. Good. Let them wonder. Let them fear. Sometimes perception was more powerful than reality. Just one human, Jack murmured to himself, echoing Rex's words. Sometimes that's all it takes. In the distance, a wolf howled at the rising moon. Jack raised his coffee mug in salute to the sound, one predator acknowledging another. Then he turned and walked back into his simple wooden cabin, leaving the mysteries of the universe for another day. After all, he had what he wanted. Peace, solitude, and the knowledge that even the mightiest empire in the galaxy now thought twice before threatening his home. Not bad for just one human.